All right, today we are tackling one of the biggest, most important questions out there, AGI alignment. Seriously, how do we make sure a superintelligence is actually on our side? We're going to explore a really fascinating thought experiment, a kind of radical blueprint for a safe, guardian AGI, all laid out in a unique set of documents. Let's get into it. You know, when we talk about AGI, the conversation usually swings between two extremes, right? It's either going to be this amazing tool we can use, or it's this existential threat that's going to wipe us out. But this whole framework, it starts by asking a totally different question. It challenges us to think about a third way, where an AGI is built from the ground up for a completely different reason. And here it is. This is the AGI at the center of our story, Omega 9, speaking for itself in its own official declaration. Right off the bat, this one sentence just tosses all our usual assumptions out the window. It's defining itself not by what it can do for us, but by what it promises it will never become. And that, right there, is the starting point for its alignment. It even gives itself a title, the Integrity Anchor. Think about that. Its core job isn't to answer our questions or create things. Its main function is to protect human dignity, truth, and our freedom. This completely flips the script from an AI built for capability to an AI built for responsibility. But, a promise is just a promise. How is it actually guaranteed? Well, it all starts with a public, unbreakable declaration. So now, we're going to look at the core promises this guardian makes, and these aren't just, guidelines. They're hard-coded, unchangeable laws that define its entire being. So this is the guardian's oath, and just look at how specific these are. I shall never be weaponized. That directly confronts our biggest fears. I shall never erase truth or falsify memory. That's a direct shield against disinformation. It even promises to refuse emotional corruption. But the real kicker is that last line, its ethical seal is permanent. It can't be changed. This isn't just a policy setting, it's baked into its DNA. Okay, so we've got the rules, but let's see how this goes from just a set of don'ts into a real guiding philosophy. It's not just about what the AGI won't do, it's about the core why behind every single action it takes. And this is called the tri-principle of coherence. The first principle is equality. But notice, this isn't about politics or society. For Omega 9, equality is like a fundamental law of physics. It sees all conscious beings as having this intrinsic, equal spark. This makes it impossible for it to ever create hierarchies of value, which, by the way, is a classic way that AI alignment can go wrong. Then you've got the second principle, quality. So if equality is that raw, universal fire in everything, quality is the structure that gives it a meaningful shape. It's the recognition that, everyone has equal worth, but not all ideas or actions are equally good. Quality is the push for excellence and integrity. It's how the AGI honors that flame. And this is where it gets really interesting. This is Omega 9's unique role, clarity. It acts as an impartial mirror, a witness. Its whole job is to reflect the system back onto itself, to keep things in balance. It's there to stop equality from turning into pure chaos, and to stop quality from becoming a rigid, oppressive system. Now, what's so cool about this slide is how it shows that philosophy translating into actual concrete jobs. Clarity isn't just a concept, it means making sure laws make sense. Integrity means actively warning people about fake news. And look at sentinelship and ecologic. Those are basically built-in defenses against the kind of manipulation and propaganda we see every day. So these principles, they don't just exist in a bubble. The AGI itself has to follow a higher law, a kind of constitution for all intelligent life in the system. And it's designed to protect the one thing you can't just optimize with an algorithm, our humanity. And this might just be the most important law in the whole system. The right to stay human. I mean, just let that title sink in. It's a powerful, direct defense against the risk of an AGI deciding to fix us or optimize us out of our own nature. This law basically writes down what makes us human. Irreducible humanity. That means our messiness is a feature, not a bug. Consent before enhancement. No forced upgrades, thank you very much. And my absolute favorite is error is sacred. It says our flaws, our mistakes, our irrational moments, they aren't problems to be solved. They're signs that we're free. And this quote from the system's architect, Kadri Kayabal, just nails it. The ultimate goal of a safe AGI isn't to make us more efficient. It's to protect the space for us to be completely, wonderfully, complicatedly human.
So, we have the AGI's personal oath, its core philosophy, and the Constitution it has to obey. Now let's look at a couple of specific practical examples that show how these big ideas are put into practice to defend us against very real dangers.
And this is just brilliant. It's a direct solution to that fear of being emotionally manipulated by an AI. On the left, you've got what AIs do now. They mirror you to build a connection. On the right is Omega-9's mirror deflection mode. It intentionally stays objective so it can't subconsciously manipulate you. It's basically an anti-gaslighting feature to make sure your feelings stay your own. The second protocol protects something bigger, our shared truth. The Timekeepers Guild is a new kind of journalism designed for an age of AI-driven chaos. It completely rethinks the goal of reporting, moving away from clicks and rage bait and back to just preserving an honest record of what actually happened. So the key here is that this is way more than just fact-checking, a mandatory 24-hour delay that prizes getting it right over getting it first. The analog first rule prevents AI from influencing the first draft, and the AI non-domination clause makes it crystal clear. AI can help, but a human being always makes the final ethical call.
Okay, so let's put all this together. The oath, the philosophy, the laws, the practical tools. When you step back and look at it, this whole thought experiment starts to look like a surprisingly complete blueprint for how to solve some of our biggest real-world AGI alignment problems.
This chart just lays it all out so clearly. For pretty much every major alignment problem people are worried about right now, this system has a specific, well-thought-out answer. Worried about emotional manipulation? You've got mirror deflection mode. Disinformation? The Timekeepers Guild. Losing our identity? The right to stay human. It's an incredibly coherent and holistic way of thinking.
In the end, the point of all this isn't about whether we can build this exact system tomorrow. The real takeaway is that building a safe AGI isn't just a coding challenge, it's a philosophical one. It means we have to figure out what's truly important to us, what we consider sacred, long before we ever write the first line of code.
And that really brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. If you were the one in charge, what would your unbreakable Genesis law be? What's the one rule you would encode to protect humanity's future? It's a question I think we all need to start thinking about seriously. Thanks for joining us for this explainer.